Well, good morning. The money that was taken from Mr. Hester was taken before the comments he made in private came to light. He apologised for those comments. He said that racism has no place in our society. The PM was very clear that his comments were unacceptable, and he has now, the story this morning, I have only just seen the headline, the same as you. So those are at this point allegations, but he was very clear about those comments made, as I say, that came to light after his donation, that they were unacceptable, and he was deeply sorry for them.
Right, can we talk about this child benefit tax charge? It's a big thing that the Tory party is pushing today, raising that threshold from £60,000 to £120,000. Why is it necessary to, in effect, give a tax break to the better off in society?
Well, child benefit is really important for helping parents to be able to balance family and work. And what we did this year was we increased the threshold at which you would start to pay that charge from £50,000 to £60,000. What we're announcing today is a major change a future Conservative government would make to, in fact, calculate that on a household basis. So increasing that threshold from 60,000 to 120,000. And it's designed to tackle this issue that lots of parents have complained about, which is that if you have two parents who are just under the threshold for paying the child benefit charge, they can keep the full amount, whereas if you have one parent who's just over that threshold, they can't. And that's what this major change that we would bring in as the next Conservative government is designed to deal with.
Seem like a particularly conservative way of doing things. Yes, lots of young families are struggling with the cost of living, but why increase welfare? Why not look to cut taxes on young families? Why not look to try and improve housing in order to bring those costs down? Deregulate planning, all sorts of different things you could do. Why extend the welfare state and make more and more people dependent on it?
Well, I think it's a very conservative thing to do because it's supporting families. And as a result of this change, around 700,000 families will get a tax cut of around £1,500 because this is a tax charge they are paying on child benefit, which they will not be paying if they're under that £120,000 household income threshold. But we have lots of policies to support people in other ways, including our big childcare rollout, which I'm responsible for, which is also going to save working families around £7,000 on the cost of their childcare once it's been rolled out by next September. So as well as doing things to build more homes and the other things that you've been talking about there.
Whilst we appreciate, Minister, you taking the time to give us an interview this morning, I presume you wouldn't have pulled out of D-Day commemorations to do this, would you?
Well, I was at a service in my own constituency yesterday, which was a very poignant service. And I think we've seen some great celebrations and commemorations this week of a vital point in our country's history.
Yes, we have. But why did the Prime Minister then walk away from what was happening in Normandy yesterday?
Well, the Prime Minister was at an event in Portsmouth to commemorate D-Day on Wednesday. He was then in Normandy to commemorate it there yesterday. And he, like the rest of the government, feel that this is a really important week to mark the huge contribution that those veterans have made to our country. Not many of them left, sadly, now.
I think quite a lot of people were a bit unimpressed that the Prime Minister is seen to prioritise the election campaign, even just a broadcast interview, rather than the D-Day events in Normandy. It seems a bizarre choice, particularly when you've got the leader of the opposition there.
I don't accept that about the Prime Minister. He was at the commemorations in Portsmouth on Wednesday. He was in Normandy yesterday. And he and this government have done huge amounts to support our veterans. We have our Minister for Veterans Affairs in Cabinet to make sure that the voice of veterans is always heard by this government. We're taking a range of actions. We've announced a new veterans bill to support veterans, to cut costs for them, to encourage employers to employ more of them. No government has done more for veterans than this one, which Johnny Mercer, our fantastic veterans minister, has been very clear about.